Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to jump into a classic fable that, trust me, is packed with a really powerful lesson. We are talking about The Raven and the Fox. At its heart, this is a story all about two characters who couldn't be more different. You've got this super cunning fox whose mind is just always working, and then you have a raven who's, well, let's just say he's a little too proud for his own good. And their little meeting is going to teach us a timeless lesson about, ourselves. So it all kicks off in a forest. We have our two main characters and a piece of food that's about to stir up a whole lot of trouble. Picture this, way up high on a tree branch, there's our raven. He's just scored himself a delicious prize, some food he's holding onto for dear life in his beak. He's feeling like he's on top of the world, or at the very least, on top of this tree. But, surprise, he's not alone. A very sly fox has spotted him from down below, and you can practically see the gears turning in his head as he starts to size up the whole situation. The fox has his eyes on the prize. He knows he can't just climb the tree. That's not going to work. So he's got to get creative. He's about to pull out his greatest weapon to get what he wants, his sharp wit. Okay, so this is where the fox really puts his brilliant plan into action. He's going to use a tool that's been proven to work time and time again throughout history, good old-fashioned flattery. So the fox starts just showering the raven with compliments. He's yelling up, "My, what a handsome bird you are," and those feathers, they just shine in the sun. He's really buttering him up, and you can already tell. It's totally working. And then, bam, here comes the masterstroke. The fox suggests that with such incredible looks, the raven's voice must be just as amazing. He even says, and get this, that if the raven were to sing, his song would prove to everyone that he is the true king of all birds. And the raven, he falls for it. Hook, line, and sinker. All that sweet talk goes straight to his head. He puffs out his chest, completely filled with pride, just itching to prove the fox is right. And now, here we go, the moment of truth. The raven's pride is literally about to be his downfall. He's so eager to show off how great his voice is that he completely forgets about everything else. He opens his beak as wide as he possibly can to let out what he thinks will be a magnificent song for his new #1 fan down below. And just like that, it's over. That piece of food, the very thing the fox was after this whole time, just tumbles right out of the raven's open beak. Of course, the fox is waiting. He snatches the prize right off the ground and, with this big, triumphant laugh, looks right back up at the bird he just so easily outsmarted. So, what's the big lesson we can learn from this little forest drama? Well, it's a pretty powerful one about trust and the real dangers of a big ego. Yeah, so the takeaway here is really twofold. First, be a little suspicious of people who just shower you with praise, especially when it seems like they have something to gain. And second, it's a great reminder that letting your ego get the best of you can have some very real and not so great consequences. A flatterer is someone who basically uses praise as a tool or even a weapon. They say exactly what they think you want to hear, all so they can get what they want. It's praise with a hidden agenda, and it's definitely something we should all be on the lookout for. So all this leaves us with a pretty interesting question. Why did the raven really lose his food? I mean, was it just because he opened his mouth? Or was it because his desire to be seen as special and amazing was way stronger than his common sense? It's something to think about, right? And that is our deep dive into The Raven and the Fox. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time for another story with a great lesson to learn.